Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and welcome to the crash course for Man-Thing. Today we're going to talk about his abilities, T4 upgrades, ISO 8 options, Dark Dimension prospects, how much you should build him, and then I'm going to talk about my plans. What you're seeing on the screen as a spoiler is um, basically a summarized version of what this video is going to be. It's my infographic. I make these for every new character and every rework alongside a video. If you want to take a screenshot right now, go for it. Otherwise, I will also link it down below. And if you want to support, you can go ahead and give it a like. I would appreciate that. Um, but yeah, in the video, we're going to discuss a little bit deeper, and um, I'm going to talk about my reasonings behind these decisions, because I do get a lot of questions about why did you do this. All right, now let's get into it. So Man-Thing is the final character, and he's also a very key character for this team. Uh, the like in the beginning, people were trying to run Agatha and Moon Knight, Agatha, Moon Knight, Blade. Those options weren't working because Karen and Man-Thing are the two key members of the team. Karen was giving ability energy, and Man-Thing is providing speed stat, which the team is a rather slow team, so having Man-Thing is essential. Alright, let's get into it. Nexus Guardian. On spawn, if this character has 3 or more Nightstalker allies, gain taunt and immunity. On enemy turn end, bury yourself for 10% of max health. While this character is above 50% health, this character cannot gain stun. When this character drops below 50% health, if he's taunting, he's going to clear taunt and gain stealth and regeneration. He gives the team speed, not speed bar, speed stat. In raids, before this character takes a turn, enemy protector characters cannot gain immunity, so Gladiator. Before this character takes a turn, ability block cannot be applied to self or any Night Stalker allies. I said this in the Karen Page video where they had a call out for North Star. I find this kind of call out very lazy and annoying. Here he's they wanted to go and make the nodes tougher, so they built a tough node with Gladiators, North Stars, Void Knights. Now they're coming in, and instead of building a team that can beat them easily or beat them well, they went the lazy route and just neutered those specific characters' specific abilities. So it's not that this team is good; they have very specific lines preventing those tough characters' tough abilities. Like Void Knight applying ability block to everybody. Just build a team where on turn 1 they can use their basics and still be awesome. What about that? Or build a team that does extra damage for immunity, or that applies taunt to other characters. I don't know. I think this is getting really lazy, and they're trying to sell a new team within like a specific time frame that they've set for themselves for every origin. So instead of just building better teams, they're making very tough defenses nodes that barrier the old team, but then when they're coming in to build a new team, they're realizing, oh, how do we get around this? And they're going very lazy. Instead of figuring it out, they're just saying, oh, you know what, let's just ignore Void Knight's ability block. Let's just ignore that Gladiator has immunity. I don't like it. It's icky. Alright, the T4 rant over. The T4 makes it where instead of 5% speed, he gives 20% speed. That's an easy essential upgrade. Moon Knight is slow, very slow. Agatha is slower. Blade and Oath are decent speed. Actually, they're good speed, but like 20% speed. Everybody's gonna appreciate that. And then this guy himself is just super slow. So I mean, it makes sense that the swamp monster is slow. But yeah, this 20% speed is good. And it's very essential. It's probably the most essential T4 on this whole team. Alright. The ultimate. 6 turn cooldown comes ready. Bog Bash. Attack all enemies for damage. Prolong all debuffs except the ones that you want to prolong. Apply slow for 2 turns to all enemies. In raids, clear disrupt from self. In all game modes, gain taunt for 2 turns and apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all Nightstalker allies. I wish the disrupt clear was in every game mode. This is his ability that gives him taunt. There's no other taunt in his kit. He has a 6 turn cooldown taunt. I know he gets energy from Karen, but if he can't get it for some reason, she's dead, you're not killing enemies, whatever. It's gonna take 6 more turns to get to this, and he's only disrupting, clearing disrupt in raids. Whatever. The T4 adds more damage. It's 80% to all enemies. That's actually a very nice amount of damage. In raids, he gains safeguard for 2 turns. Again, it's only himself. Why did it have to be in raids? And then in all game modes, he's gonna clear 2 negative effects from himself and all Nightstalker allies. I think while it's nice, it's also because Karen at the end of any Nightstalker ally turn is already going to clear 2 debuffs from all Nightstalker allies. Yeah, so for me, this upgrade I would call almost essential. The damage is very big, it's high value. Gaining safeguard for 2 turns is nice, but it's only 1 character and only in raids. The debuffs is again nice, but not like a game changer. I think overall it's like overall there's value there, but it's not essential. But I mean I would recommend it. It's good value. All right, the special. 4 turn cooldown comes ready. Attack primary and adjacent for damage. Apply slow for 2 turns. Clear all debuffs from self and all Nightstalker. Apply defense up to self and all Nightstalker. I mean, look over here where he clears 2 debuffs from self and all Nightstalker. I wish he did that before the taunt, so that like outside of raids, he doesn't specifically clear disrupt from self. But with this, maybe he could, you know? That would have made the T4 a little better. Alright. The T4 on the special adds 60% damage to primary and secondary. That's nice. But the really nice part is if any target has slow, apply stun. So, he could effectively stun 6 people at once. That's very big. That's an essential upgrade. It's kind of like Agatha, where like it has a prerequisite to apply the stun, but it's very impactful once it procs. And he already applies the slow himself, so it really matters on what his focus is and whether if he can. Oh no! He applies the stun before the slow. I still think it's essential. Oh, that's a kick in the nuts, huh? It should have been like Agatha, where he applies the slow, then the stun. They maybe thought that was too OP. Anyway, I think it's essential because without the T4, he doesn't even try to apply the stun. Yeah, definitely recommend this T4. Oh, that's a bummer. His ultimate applies slow for 2 turns to all enemies. So, with his low speed, if he can come back around while they still have slow, then he can stun 6 people. Anyway. Basic. Attack primary for damage. Apply +1 slow. Apply bleed to any non-Daredevil target. There's questions about this. So apparently, Man-Thing's thing in the comics is up here where you can see, whatever knows fear burns at the touch of the Man-Thing. In this game, burns and bleeds are the same thing, or bleeds does it? What's the word? Denote burn. A bleed is a burn. Anyway, so he applies bleed to any non-Daredevil target because everybody knows fear, so he's burning them, except Daredevil is the man without fear. That's the whole thing. Alright. Gain regeneration. Apply defense up to the most injured, non-summoned Nightstalker ally without defense up. So his basic, special, ultimate all apply defense up to Nightstalker allies. The T4 applies or adds 50% extra damage, and then he gains 2 regens instead of 1. This is it's easily skippable. It's not an impactful T4. And I think that's good because when they release a new team and every ability on everybody is a T4 necessity, then that's a huge sink. Having some of these skippable ones is good. Alright. Yeah, that's where we are. Now, ISO 8. He wants to stay above 50% health because he drops taunt at 50%. And then also, when he's over 50, he resists stun. So, I think Fortifier is a good choice for him, especially at low investment. And then keep in mind, he's going to spawn with taunt when he's with the team. So, having that extra barrier is going to be very valuable. But when you get to a point where he's built big and you're confident in him, Raider's a good choice as well because it synergizes with the team. It just improves damage, but most importantly, it triggers Blade's assists. So that's my recommendation. Fortifier or a Raider if you're super confident in him. In terms of building, as we mentioned, he needs to stay alive, he needs to stay taunting, so build up, build him high. Level 100, Mystic is a popular origin. If you're low on Mystic Crimson, I would still take him to 100 and keep him at gear 18, because the levels, I think even 90 through 100, those levels each add a lot, a chunk of health, and it's a good amount. So keep that in mind. But if you do have the Crimson for him, I would recommend that as well. That all with an asterisk. I've been saying this, and I've been getting a lot of flack for it. This team is optional in the current state of the game. The raid, the top tier of the raid right now, if you have, optional if you have Mephisto. Again, not everybody has Mephisto, I know that. But if you do have Mephisto, the top tier of the raid is doable. And if you have Odin as well, then it's easy. And I think that's a good trade-off. If you have the 2 most recent mythics, you can skip the raid team. I think, that's a decent trade-off. If you don't have those characters, then yeah, build this team. It's a new meta team. They have a lot of speed, a lot of damage, a lot of control. It's a good team. So just know what you're getting into and build accordingly. For me personally, I'm not going to touch this character unless they give me a specific reason to. whether it's a raid or a scourge or a tower. But right now, I'm neither buying him nor building him. I don't have a reason to. Yeah, that's where I am. And now, finally, let's talk about Dark Dimension. I don't think he's a good choice. He doesn't have sustain. He he's slow, even with the 20% speed boost he gives himself. I think he ends up at like 118 or something. He's slow. He doesn't bring anything specific to the table either. He has a stun, like a potential stun on a 4-turn cooldown. Like he's not somebody that you're gonna get much use of. Maybe in DD7 you could run him with Agatha for the drain. I don't think that's worth it. Bring in a more synergistic team like Orcus, like Cabal, Illuminati, maybe even still Extreme X-Men, I don't know. So yeah, I don't think he's a good option. I wouldn't recommend him. And I think that takes us to the end. Let me know what your thoughts are on Man-Thing. I am... Yeah. Sorry. I think I've just been very cynical of everything they're doing recently. Thank you for going over his kit with me. I hope to see you in the next one.